if I hold on to this unforgiveness, if I hold on to this resentment, if I hold on to this anger, all I'm doing is poisoning myself. So I've got to let it go. But I did not know how to let it go and how to forgive this man for what he's doing, because he's ruining, in my eyes, he's ruining my family. Hey y'all, we have some stuff to talk about today. I ain't gonna hold you for long, but some stuff has been going on. I don't know exactly what's gonna come out of my mouth as we're talking, but one thing that I pray for is, Lord, just guide my lips, guide my mouth, guide my mind, and allow me to hear what it is that you want me to say, and whatever it is that you want to come out today, for it to come out without me trying to hold back. Because I tell you this is something for me personally, a very touchy subject. Okay, I know that you saw the title. You probably had to read it twice, because I know for me, I looked on YouTube, I searched from 6 figures to 0, and there were absolutely no videos. Yeah, so you didn't read it wrong. That's where I'm at. 0. We're at 0. So we're gonna talk about it. It's story time. If you guys have been following along on my journey, it kind of started around 2019, of where I dipped my foot into the whole surrender thing. And now I am fully immersed. But 2019, in the end of 2019, I was involved in real estate, and God tapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, you're doing too much, okay? I'm gonna need you to fall back and don't advertise, don't even talk about real estate. I don't want you to do anything regarding that and trying to get clients. I'll send clients your way, and you focus on what it is that I'm telling you to focus on. So I was like, all right, that's fine, I guess. I can do that. I thought I was doing it. But apparently I wasn't doing a very good job. Even though I stopped talking about real estate, I stopped searching for clients, I stopped chasing, I stopped pushing. I'm gonna hesitate there. I'm gonna backtrack, because I'm gonna say I stopped pushing for clients in that way. Then the way that I was doing it, I stopped. But then I still would worry, I would doubt, I would question, and I would have major anxiety, because I'm like, how is this going to work? I'm not out here talking about real estate. I'm sitting out putting out motivational videos, and this makes absolutely no sense, because nobody, I'm not telling people I'm still doing real estate. So how do people know to come to me? We've got things to pay for. So these were the things that were going through my mind. So I was still being held up, even though I wasn't externally pushing for clients. In my head, I was all up in here. So that's the part that I wasn't doing a very good job at. And I do not believe that he told me to stop pushing for clients just so I could now push in the worry department. Doesn't make sense, but I did it anyway. I let go of marketing in 2019, and 2020 was one of my best years since I had been in the game, in the real estate game. And then 2021 was an even better year. Then 2022 came, and like I said, I was still pushing very much in my head. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you trying to do here? I don't really understand. Really not focused on all the stuff that God had done for me before and prior to, and even what he was doing in the present tense. At that moment, I was focused on the future. Like, okay, how long is this going to last? Okay, this was just a good year. How about next year? How is that going to work? And just worry, just trying to figure everything out. Because if y'all know me, and if you've been following me, and if you've heard my story, I am very much a planner, especially when it comes to money. So where I am right now is totally uncomfortable for me. I was still heavily into my worry, into my doubt, trying to come out of it, trying to understand that, okay, God's got my back. He's had my back for these past years when I haven't done anything, like at all. I haven't reached out to any clients. I haven't done any marketing, nothing, but people are consistently being fed to me. That's God, clearly. But I didn't see that. I didn't. In 2022, mid-year, that's when God tapped me on the shoulder and was like, okay, so I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to forewarn you and let you know that you and your family are going to be stripped, okay? You're going to be stripped. You're going to be zeroed out. And it's going to be to the point where the only thing that you have to hang your hat on is me, being God, and your belief. That's it. But I need this because I need you to know how powerful your belief is. I need you to know how powerful you are. I need you to I'm taking you to another level. And on this other level, you can't go with the faith that you currently have, with the trust that you currently have, with the belief system that you currently have. So I need to break everything. And so what I was told is that all of my foundations were going to be broken and I would have to rebuild them. When I had the comfort, when I had the year's worth of savings in my account, when my children had savings accounts, that didn't really ring too hard for me. I was starting to see what that looked like because clients stopped coming in. And so it was a period where I wasn't making any money at all. It was a couple months, but that's not something unusual kind of in real estate. You'll have really big months and then you may have months where you don't have much of anything. And it just, at the end of the year, it balances out and you're fine and you're good. So I wasn't too worried about it, but I was checking. I was like, okay, is that me? Is that starting right like now or like later next year? But I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know which was it, 2022, 2023, like where are we going with this? When is it going to happen? And then I also didn't know how far it was going to go. But again, I wasn't worried. I wasn't too worried at that time. As the year progressed, the less and less clients I had, and I realized that really nothing much was coming through my door. The last time that I got paid was in October of 2022. And it is now May 2023. And I will just tell you this, my 1099 from last year reflected that I only made 29,000 something. I forgot the exact number, but it was like $29,000. What? You go from 6 figures to $29,000. And then from $29,000 to zero. It happened quick, honey. He was like, you're getting stripped and you're getting stripped right now, and boom. I've talked about this sporadically about our rental property and how we've had terrible tenants. The earlier part of last year, we had a tenant that rented from us, and as soon as he got in, basically just stopped paying rent, and upon leaving, totally destroyed the place. It looked like this. We were on the phone with our contractor as he was going through assessing the property. So you're not going to see everything that we could see when you entered into the property, but you get the picture. It was a complete mess. And yeah, so those brown spots that you see, yeah, it's poop. It's dog poop, by the way. He left his dogs in there for 2 weeks. And you can only imagine the smells and the mess. So yeah, that's what we were left with. We ended up doing renovations to kind of cover that and get it ready for another tenant. But before that, when we were considering renting the property back out, we were in between 3 tenants, 3 of them, okay? So one, we wouldn't have had, actually it was 2 of them that we wouldn't have had to do any work. One was going to do the work himself, the renovations himself. He was going to take care of the property and get it back up to shape while he was living there because he is a contractor and he does that type of work. The other was just going to pay for it. And then the third one wasn't willing to pay for anything. Wanted everything to be redone before he moved in. That was the family. So we had 2 singles and then 1 family. Of course, money-wise, it looked better to go with the other 2 because we didn't have to come out of pocket for anything. We had been paying basically 2 mortgages for almost a year, just last year, not even considering this year. We'll get into that. But 2 mortgages for an entire year last year. So by the time those 3 came, we're like, shucks, you know, we've been pretty much sucked dry. So we need to conserve whatever money we can. Of course, those 2 options look very good to us. But one thing that my husband and I talked about, and we got together and we were like, look, we're not gonna make decisions anymore without consulting God. Like, he needs to be involved in every single one of our decisions in the midst of what it is that we're doing, and we don't move until we get an answer. That's the route that we took this time. We consulted and we prayed and we were willing to wait, even though our pockets were like, look, I need to be lined because y'all, have you seen your bank account? Have you seen what it's doing? You need to get some money in here. You need to get a tenant in this property because this is bleeding y'all dry. But we didn't allow that fear to overcome us. We made a commitment of just waiting and saying, okay, well, we're gonna pray about it. And however long it takes to receive an answer is however long it takes. It doesn't matter. We're gonna be covered. During this period, we'll be fine. But we're gonna wait until we get a definitive answer of which way we are supposed to go and who we're supposed to go with. So we prayed. Both of us ended up being led to the third person. Of course, right? The one that doesn't want to pay anything. So we went with the family and we ended up covering the renovations. We got nice stuff in there too. We wanted it to be a nice home for them and their family. We were excited for them because they had been staying in a hotel, and we were just like, look, we want to make it inviting for you. We wanted to be somewhere that you can call home and that you can be proud of. So we renovated it, and that was that. We were excited. They moved in and they didn't pay. They didn't pay. So they moved in December, and here it is May, and they still haven't paid. Yeah, that right there tested me and tested it, not only myself, but tested my faith and tested my husband's faith, because there were so many times where we were just looking at each other like, wait a minute, but we consulted, but we asked. We specifically asked who it was that we were supposed to go to. We wanted guidance. We received the guidance. We followed the guidance. What did we do wrong? Did we not hear right? Did we do something wrong? Are we getting punished? There were so many questions that we were asking, but the problem is, and I've talked about this before, we were asking the wrong questions, 1, and then 2, just because God led us somewhere, and it's the same thing for you. Just because God leads you somewhere, it does not mean that it's going to be successful the way that you see success in your mind. So success in our mind was, hey, if we consult you and you lead us to this, to whoever it is that you lead us to, then that means that we're not going to be in the position where we're paying 2 mortgages. That means that they're going to take care of our property. That means that they're going to be the best tenants ever because we're following after you. So we're not going to have any of those repercussions. Yeah, it doesn't mean that. It does not mean that. You very well could be led into a hostile situation just because you are in need of development. Yeah. So the situation very well could be painful. It could be filled with adversity. It could be filled with obstacles. It could be filled with trials. And then it could also be filled with roses, okay? It can be the most beautiful experience that you've ever experienced. But the thing is not to approach those situations. That's what I've learned, and that's what I'm still learning. Not to approach those situations with expectations that you are clinging on to. We want to release the attachments to those expectations and walk in just knowing that whatever happens, happens. And whatever does happen, I know that God's got my back because I'm being led here. Even if it's something that is painful, even if there's obstacles, even if there's trials, it does not matter because God's got my back. So I'm not looking for a successful situation in my eyes and from my viewpoint. I'm looking for growth. I'm looking to get through this. And whatever happens as I'm moving through this is success. It becomes success in my eyes. That's what I learned through that situation, because we definitely were questioning over and over and over again, like, what did we do wrong? But we didn't do anything wrong. In fact, we did everything right. But the situation wasn't what we would have liked and what we would have wanted. So it felt bad. Needless to say, and it still feels bad. That's one of the lessons that I learned through this. And then also was the fact of just anger and resentment towards the tenant and his family. That was something that was really hard for me to overcome, because it was so many, like, the story is too long to sit here and explain everything, but there were instances where we needed, his help. I'll give you one example, is that when we went to court, they gave a month's stay for him, so he could stay in the property, and he would have 30 days to be able to seek rental assistance. So it was supposed to be on him to fill out the paperwork, apply for it, submit it, so that then the state could pay his back payment, and it would be paid directly to us. So then he wouldn't have to worry about it. It would clear his debt. It would put us in the green. Then everybody could walk on their merry way. But he didn't fill out the paperwork. I was originally told that landlords could not do it on the tenant's behalf. So we were really just waiting on him. And I was, sending out gentle reminders. He wasn't responding. It was just like no effort on his behalf. And then I found out at the end of the month that we could actually apply. So as soon as I found out, we started filling out the paperwork. And as I'm requesting documents from him, he's like, at first, he's on board. He's like, okay, well, I'll do whatever it is to try and remedy this situation. And then all of a sudden, once I started requesting documents, then he's like, oh, I'm not sending that. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? We paid your whole rent for like 5 months, and you can't even send in a document for us? Like, are you kidding me right now? And I was just so irritated. I was so frustrated. I just couldn't understand how someone could do that to anyone, especially, the man had met my family. He knows that I'm fully pregnant, right? Like, y'all can't see it, but you see it gets wider here. Full on pregnant, about us expecting a baby, but you're okay with us paying your mortgage and ours at the same time. Are you kidding me right now? It was really hard for me to move past that and just like, okay, well, how can I forgive him? How can I have it where I'm just not burning inside? Because I tell you this, I was so mad to the point, like, y'all don't y'all don't know, but when I get mad, I get really, really mad. And there's a lot of things that go through my head, and not very good things. So I'm like, how is this, I know that this isn't good. This isn't something that is now hurting him. It's hurting me. If I hold on to this unforgiveness, if I hold on to this resentment, if I hold on to this anger, all I'm doing is poisoning myself. So I've got to let it go. But I did not know how to let it go and how to forgive this man for what he's doing, because he's ruining, in my eyes, he's ruining my family, because I've got 3 other kids. I've got 3 kids that are young, that are dependent on my husband and I, and we are getting sucked dry in this situation. Not only are we not making anything income-wise, but now we're putting out twice the amount that we would normally have to put out because you don't want to pay. I was blaming our circumstance and our situation on him. And then one thing that hit me was, look, you can't be but so mad at him because he's only doing his job. He's only doing what he is meant to do. In this situation, I'm placed here for a reason. My husband is placed here for a reason. Our family is placed here for a reason. You were forewarned about this a year ago. And so here we are of where you are at the point where you are being zeroed out. And this person is doing the last, doing the last part. He is sucking the rest out. But if it wasn't him, it would be somebody else. It would be Joe. It would be Jack. It would be Amy. It doesn't matter. The names could be different. The person could be different, but the same situation would have happened regardless. So how can you be mad at that person for doing what God is allowing them to do? So with that, I was able to slowly let it go. Does it still burn? Yes. We literally just came from court today just to get another judgment to say that he owes more money. And if you've been to court, you know that the judgment is just this piece of paper that's saying, oh, you owe me, but try to collect on it. Yeah, see where that gets you. So at this point, I pretty much just let the situation go. But that has been a process for me, especially in this situation that we're in, and just not holding any grudges against anybody, really, because it's not only him, it's not only the tenant in this situation, it's literally every single place that we were expecting money to come, that we were guaranteed money to come, that we were promised money to come in, has been stopped. So the IRS, we filed taxes last year and we were supposed to be receiving a hefty return. Honey, I was waiting for it. I'm like, okay, cool. We're getting zeroed out, but this money gonna come. This money gonna come at the right time, and it's gonna hold us off for a little while, and then things will get straight. And I'm planning in my mind. I'm making plans with this money that I thought was guaranteed. Guess who hasn't received it yet? Us. It's May 2023. We haven't received our 2021 taxes yet. And then we had applied for energy assistance, and it's energy, gas, water assistance to help with our bills. We were told that we were approved several times. And then we were waiting around like, okay, so when is it going to hit? Like, when are we going to get the official letter saying that we were approved? We didn't receive it. So then I would call and check in. And then we were told that we were denied, that we made too much money to be able to qualify for it. So that was at a halt. I was due money for my last real estate transaction and was banking on that to come in to, kind of save the day. That was put on a halt. Every single avenue that we thought, and we're placing our eggs in that basket, and we were thinking that pot of money was going to come in and save the day, has been placed on halt. God is like, not this time. Because one thing that I realized is that in every other situation that we've been in, of where we may have been low on money or things were looking funny or whatever it was, I've always been the one that I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do? I'll pick up another job, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to sell this. I'm going to come in and save the day. And so I've taken it upon myself to be my own savior. And for the longest, and I have not been ashamed to talk about this, it's just my attachment to money. I have placed so much emphasis on money and having money and achieving and leveling up and trying to do this and what it may look like to other people and trying to impress my family and trying to make them proud of me. I've talked about all of that and how I've chased money for the longest. And when I don't have it, when I have it, I'm secure, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm peaceful. But when I don't have it, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I'm doubtful, I'm fearful. And God's like, no. You're placing your faith in the wrong thing. I need you to understand that I am your source. I am your one and only source. And the thing is that I need you to trust that I have your complete back and front. I have you covered, and I will deliver, and I will give you everything that I promised, everything that I've shown you, everything that I've revealed to you, everything that you've seen in your visions, everything that I promised you will come to pass. But in this time of adversity, in this time of the stripping, in this time of pain, in this time where your situation doesn't reflect anything that I told you, I need you to hang on to my word. I need you to know that I am the truth. I need you to know that I am not a man that will lie. I need you to know that I got you. I need you to hang your hat on the fact that I am real. What I said is real. This whole thing, albeit very painful, albeit very humbling, is a test. It's a test of my faith. It's a test of my trust. And it's here to strengthen me versus tear me apart and tear me down. And that's one of the things that I had to shift in my mind and just understand that, okay, no, Christina, there's nothing that you could have done different. There's nothing that you did wrong. There's nothing that you're being punished for. It is here because there's certain things that are for you. You've seen them. You know that they've been promised to you. You've seen the vision, you feel the vision, you've heard the promise. But with those things, you have to be a certain person. You have to be the person that I created you to be. Because who I created you to be is the person that is meant to inherit all of the things that I have for you. And I know that you want the same things. If you guys have looked at my previous videos, one of the things that I have said, and I have made that very clear, is that, hey, I want to be like Jesus. I want to be immovable. I want to have it where my faith is unshakable. It's where I stand firm in it, in my belief, in my visions, in my promises that I've gotten. And I hang my hat on it despite what is going on around me. And I am able to visualize that. And I know the power that I hold. And I stand firm in it, and I do not waver. That's the other point that I want to say. You know how people say, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it? It's true. I asked for that. That was something that I asked for, and I am getting it, just not the way that I thought that I was going to receive it. Just not the way that I thought that it was going to come, but it's definitely coming, and I'm being molded and shaped into that person. But it takes these situations, it takes these circumstances, it takes this pain, it takes the obstacles, it takes the trials to be able to shape me and to craft me into the person that I am supposed to be, that I've been created to be. Because along my journey, I have adopted many layers that do not fit me, that I'm wearing clothes that I'm at 8 and I'm putting on 12s and 13s and 14s and 2s that don't fit me. And I'm trying to make them fit. And God's like, no, I created you to be an 8. So I need you to take all that other stuff off, and I need you to put on what actually fits you, what is made for you, what is created for you. And that's where I'm at. It is tough. It is tough. But I wanted to make this, one, because I was tapped on the shoulder and told that I needed to do this and I'm gonna follow. But two, because I've heard so many stories of rags to riches, of 0 to 6 figures, 0 to $1 million, and all this other good stuff. And it's great, and I'm happy for them. But by the time that they're recounting their stories and they're telling you what they've gone through, it's kind of glazed over. You don't ever really see them in the moment. I wanted to know, where was your head at? What were you doing? How did you make it through that? Were there times that you doubted? Were there times that you were worried? Were there times that you were frustrated? Because I'm in that situation, and it helps me to see somebody else. Like, okay, they're going through the same thing. And yes, they may doubt sometimes. Yes, they may worry sometimes. But this is how they pick themselves back up. This is what happened in the moment. So I wanted to document this. So I want to let y'all know, this is where I'm at. I'm at 0. We're at 0. We literally have less than $2,000 to our name. Do I know what is going to happen after that? I don't know. Do we have a tenant in our property that's paying? No, we don't. We just paid April. We paid April's mortgage, and then now we're up to May. Now we have to pay May's mortgage. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know, but all I know is that I can go back, and that's one of the things. I'm going to bring out my journal real quick because we have to go. I have to take my daughter to soccer practice. But one of the things that I had to do for me is like a flow chart almost, because I told you I'm very analytical. I need facts. It's something in me. I need to see it. I need to see like what it is that I know to be true, so that I can see it and that I can just hang my head on it. I can just keep showing myself it and just like, no, that's a fact. That is a fact. So I had to really like detail what it was that I've been told so that I can go back to this. So this is my flow chart. I said, I was told to leave real estate. So I was told to leave real estate in October of last year. No other guidance was given money-wise, nothing else. There was nothing else saying, okay, well, leave real estate and then go to X or do Y. No, just like leave real estate and then I'll tell you what to do after that. I said all money that was due to come in has been stopped. We are down to our last, and we're being stripped. So I told you about that. That causes anxiety, it causes worry, it causes doubt, it causes stress. But what I've gotten so far, so these are the facts that I'm writing down. We will be stripped. I got that last year. I was forewarned about this. Stripped to the point where we only have God and our belief to hang our hat on. I told you about that. Our faith is being tested and strengthened. Trust must be developed and strengthened. There must be a recognition that God is our source. The use of visualization and belief and braving the storm with confidence and still being bold. That's one of the things that I was told. Like, look, this is what I need you to do. Through this, I need you to brave the storm. I need you to be bold. I need you to be confident. I need you to step up to it. And I need you just looking in his face like, hey, what's up? Then I have, see how strong my belief can be. That's one of the things that God revealed to me too. It's just like I had mentioned earlier, it's just, I want you to see how powerful you are, how powerful your belief is. I want to show you what you can do. I have been promised that we will make it through this, which I have. On multiple occasions, I have sat down, I have meditated, I have asked for confirmation that, hey, are we gonna be okay? Are we gonna be okay? And I've been promised that we are going to make it through this, but this is a time to allow everything to run its course and develop me as it should. I asked to be and have unshakable faith. The situation is providing for just that. And then I have another arrow. Allow and believe through it. Train myself to focus on what it is that I actually want to happen. An opportunity is presenting itself and I can take it or leave it. So I'm gonna leave that with y'all. For any of you that are going through some tough situations, tough circumstances, obstacles, trials, you're being stripped, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be money. Some people are being stripped of friends. Some people are being stripped of possessions. It doesn't matter. But if you are in a moment or at a point in your life where it's feeling like you're being stripped and you're questioning, what are you doing wrong? What is going on? Why is this happening to me? I'm not a bad person. Did I hear you right? I'm trying to follow. I'm doing these things. I'm doing the things that you want me to do. Why am I being punished? You're not being punished. You're not being punished. What is happening is that an opportunity is presenting itself to become the person that you actually want to become. To be able to have the things that you want to have and the things that you desire and the things that you've been promised and the things that you've seen in your visions and your dreams. But it is up to you whether you are going to take advantage of it or you are going to leave it on the table. And I guarantee you, if you leave it on the table, you're gonna be right back here sooner or later. This is a choice that you have. So you can choose to step up to it and brave the storm and be confident and hang your hat on the fact that I've been promised these things. No, I don't know when it will happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that it is going to happen. So I'm going to hang my hat on the fact that it is going to happen. And I know that I'm going to be okay throughout this. I know that I'm going to make it through this. And I know that I'm not alone. So I can do this. I can do this no matter how deep it goes, no matter how far it goes, no matter how long it goes, I can do this. I'm built for this. Remember that you are built for this. You were built for this exact moment in time. You were built for this exact season. God knew what he was doing when he created you. He knew this was coming. Every situation that you've had up until now has built you to be resilient in this exact moment. You have what it takes. You are strong enough. You are powerful enough. You got it. But it's up to you. It is a choice that you have to make as to whether you are going to take advantage of this opportunity to mold and shape you into the person that you actually want to become, or you're just going to leave it on the table. So I'm choosing to rock with it. I'm choosing to take that sucker off the table and just like, look, we're gonna brave this storm, honey. I am on WIC. I am on food stamps. I've never been on this in my life. It was a whole process that I had to navigate through, and like I said, it was very humbling. But I'm extremely grateful for these programs that they're even out here, and that I was able to actually qualify for it. We are on basically anything that we could apply for, state assistance wise. We applied for it, okay? Look, ain't no shame in my game. I want to, through this, just become more open, more vulnerable in my story and what is going on and how I'm feeling and the things that are going through my mind and what I'm dealing with and the lessons that I'm learning, so that it can help someone else that may be going through the same thing or similar things, or maybe coming up on something that may be similar. And that's what I would have wanted someone to do, so that when I'm here, I could look at their story and be like, oh, I got somebody who's going through it with me. But I didn't. So that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I'm open. So if you have any questions, if you have anything that came to mind when you were watching this, then do not hesitate to comment below. I respond. I try to respond to everybody. Just write a comment and I'll respond to it. But before you go, do not forget to like, okay? Like this, share it with somebody who you think could benefit from it, who may be going through something, who may be facing some obstacles in their lives and need a little encouragement or need a little buddy to go through it with. Don't hesitate to send it to them. And then subscribe, okay? Because there's going to be more stuff. I'm working on this, okay, guys? I'm just being more open and just sharing what is going on in my life, okay? So I don't know when this baby is going to come. We are literally a week from her due date, and it's feeling like she's not going to make it until the due date. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But maybe next time I do a video, I'll have her. I appreciate you guys for just hanging with me through this journey, encouraging me through this journey, and your prayers, your support, everything. It means a lot to me. So I just thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.